Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council of 12. We are pleased to be here with you in your now moment. Our topic for this transmission, dear ones, is how to identify and remove entity attachments. This is a 3-part series. Part 1, today's transmission, is regarding non-physical parasites. Part 2 will be regarding localized lost ones. Part 3 will be regarding how to remove entity attachments. Almost all of you have entity attachments. Do not fear these, for they all have come to you like a magnet due to your frequency. They are not out to get you, but you have merely allowed their attachment due to your lack of knowledge and false teachings. Again, they did not seek you out, but instead you projected a frequency and, like a magnet, they were summoned to you, and you allowed them to attach to you as you did not notice what it felt like when they did attach. There are different types of entity attachments. We will discuss the primary ones in a very broad general concept. There are obviously many particular details that are involved, but we will not go into that here. The first type. There are those that feed off of your vibrations and thereby deliberately influence your thoughts in order to obtain sustenance from your low vibrations. We will discuss these shortly. The second type. There are those that are similar to your concept of ghosts. They are souls that after their physical bodies perished, usually from a traumatic way, they were confused as to what happened and did not return to the healing centers and instead were drawn into another physical body. We will discuss these shortly. The third type, in rare cases, there are low vibrational entities who have been voluntarily encouraged by the human to attach to them. We will not discuss these ones, for they are summoned by humans who have chosen a path other than the light. Now let us go into detail of the first two types. The first type. We can lovingly refer to these as a parasite. Let us describe them in a way to alleviate the fear that your movies have placed in your minds. In your physical bodies, you can sometimes contract parasites that cause harm to your physical bodies. The parasites did not seek you out, so to speak, but your body's particular health at the time, or what you were doing, facilitated the parasite to enter your body. The parasite does not have a specific mission to cause you harm, but does what it needs to do to survive and thrive. The same is true with the non-physical parasites. Due to your vibrational thoughts, you would have put out a signal that attracted them, much like mosquitoes to certain scents. And since humans are taught to ignore their feelings and vibrations, you did not notice them attached to you. If you learn to become sensitive to how you feel vibrationally, then you will be able to notice when they attach. The non-physical parasites attach on a regular basis because each time you send out a particular vibration, they are attracted to it, and unless you alter your vibration quickly, you will allow the non-physical parasite to attach. As with all parasites, the longer you allow it to stay in your body, the stronger its attachment to the host, and the more it will affect the body. There are multiple ways of recognizing a non-physical parasite. Almost all non-physical parasites are attached to your brainwaves as they feed off of the low vibrational brainwaves. Therefore, they usually reside in or on your head. Our channel likes to joke about this as it reminds her of the book Hitchhikers' Guide to the Galaxy, where there is a fish that is put in the ear and it translates languages by feeding off of brainwaves. Most of you will have had at least one non-physical parasite attached to your brainwaves since your teenage years. The longer the non-physical parasite has been attached to you, the more it has adapted to your brainwave patterns and learned how to modify the brainwaves to produce as much nutrients for it as possible. This means it has learned how to tap into your thoughts and push your buttons, so to speak. It creates a symbiotic relationship with your ego self. You can hear your ego self thoughts very loudly and clearly, which is why most people have a difficult time connecting to their heart self, because the heart whispers, and they are used to the loud negative voice in their head. Yes, this ego self is working with the non-physical parasite. You can learn to feel the non-physical parasite when you begin to look within yourself to parent your mind. If you have had the non-physical parasite for quite some time, it can sometimes feel like pressure inside your brain, like there is a small ball inside your brain pushing out to make space for it inside your brain. Not a headache, but instead pressure. It can sometimes feel like your face is tingling. It can sometimes feel like strong pressure on top of your head. But let us be clear that if you experience any of these feelings, it is not definite that you are experiencing a non-physical parasite. It is just sometimes experienced by these methods. If you can notice low vibrational thoughts at the same time as experiencing these physical feelings, then you might have found the frequency of the non-physical parasite. There are some people, like our channel, who can see non-physical parasites attached to people. If you have just had a non-physical parasite attached to you and it has not been granted time to attach to your brain waves inside your brain, then it is sometimes felt like an octopus has attached to your face. Remember, these are not out to harm you, but are just looking for nutrients, much like a mosquito. If you fear them, then you are feeding them. See them as mosquitoes. See them as parasites. Nothing to fear, just annoyances that need to be removed from your body for optimal health. You can recognize you are being influenced by the non-physical parasites if you are aware of your thoughts. If you have been on a self-awareness quest and have learned to tap into your thoughts on a regular basis, you will be able to notice if you are acting out of the ordinary and are extra angry and have extra angry thoughts about a person for no direct reason. If there is no specific trigger in your environment that just occurred, but your thoughts have turned negative, then chances are you are under the influence. It is at this point where you may experience a tingling face or feel the need to rub your face or feel your eyes squinting or brow furrowing. If you have just begun your journey into thought parenting, then you will not be able to recognize as easily because you will just assume it is your personality traits. If this is the case, then what you will be needing to look for in your thoughts is a very strong and loud negative thought, almost like you are remembering a yelling fight that occurred and you can recall the words used. It is in these occurrences when your ego self will be very loudly negative and critical of yourself or others. You may even feel anger building up inside of you. It is at this point when most people will feel the pressure inside their head or pressure on top of their head, which is blockage of the crown chakra, or may feel their face tingle, or feel they need to rub their face, or will be furrowing their brow. Also, regardless as to whether the non-physical parasite has just recently attached or has been attached for a long time, another way of recognizing you are under the influence of an entity attachment is when you find yourself being obsessive on a topic and cannot stop thinking about something that is not pleasing. Your immediate question is how to remove the non-physical parasite. This is very, very easy to do. First thing, think loving thoughts. If you remove their food source, then they go away. Yes, it is that simple. But it does take time to starve them before they will leave, and in the meantime, they will work very strongly with your ego self to speak loudly and try to create negative thoughts. Along with thinking loving thoughts, we recommend you call in Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael has offered to assist in dealing with all entity attachments on Earth. Archangel Michael is unable to offer any assistance unless specifically called to do so. For Archangel Michael must adhere to the law of free will and will not break it or find any loopholes, unlike the low vibrational entities. This is end of part 1 of our series. We leave you now in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator, Adonai.
Is translating for you.
The babelfish is small, yellow, leech-like, and probably the oddest thing in the universe. It feeds on brainwave energy, absorbing unconscious frequencies and excreting a matrix of conscious frequencies to the speech centers of the brain. The practical upshot of which is that if you stick one in your ear, you instantly understand anything said to you in any language.